All right.
Sugar-free monster. Love Nirvana.
Yeah.
I used to go to a lot of raves, get my fingers warmed up, play some guitar. Feeling pretty good now, bro. I feel like a man right now. I feel like I've conquered this.
Hello and welcome to Iced Out, home of the cold water queries. We got these things down to about 39 degrees. My guest who will be joining me for a chat in these waters is a country musician, singer, and songwriter. You can hear his songs such as Somebody's Lying, All the Good Ones Do, and his feature on the Lathan Warlick track, Take It to the Country. He's got new music coming soon, so keep your ears peeled for that. Please welcome Johnny Day.
What's up?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm really good.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for being here.
Let's go. Let's go. I've never done this before, so I'm like, oh man.
Never done it before?
Never done it.
Okay, well, we got 39 degree water here.
Oh my gosh. Let's go.
Pretty cold.
It's a good thing we're filming it because I don't know if I'd do it if we weren't.
I'll ask you as many questions as I can in the tub, and then we'll get out and continue to chat somewhere else.
All the way up to the shoulders, right?
Yeah, let me set this timer.
All right. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. All right.
I would even just get your breath going too ahead of time. Just
okay. Let's go, brother.
all right. Yeah. Breathe, dude. Breathe. Tour van or tour bus?
Tour bus. Tour bus.
What would you think would be the biggest differences?
Comfortability. You would definitely get better sleep on a bus. But yeah, better sleep.
Nice. What's on your rider?
Oh, my rider, probably water. Monster Zero sugar-free monsters right now. Oh, 220. It's kind of fall, so I like those pumpkin. What are those little pumpkin candies? I can't remember the name of those. Ooh, but they're good. And I like ice cream. Hilltop ice cream, but easier to
Oh, nice.
Freezers there, so.
Nice. What's your pre-show routine?
Pre-show routine is definitely get the voice warmed up. After that, usually get my fingers warmed up, play some guitar, and then think about the songs, think about how the performance is going to go in my mind, and then just get in the groove, get ready.
140? We're getting there, man. We're getting there. And we will acclimate soon, I promise you. What's your dream venue? If you could play any venue, what would it be?
Red Rocks. Home state, Red Rocks.
Yeah. You seen any shows there?
Oh yeah, bunch.
Hell yeah. What's the most memorable show you've seen there?
Actually I used to go to a lot of raves at Red Rocks, to be honest with you.
Nice.
So I kind of remember those. But I saw Florida Georgia Line, Jason Aldean, Zach Brown. I mean, they were all incredible.
What's your top five artists that influenced you?
Well, first off, like the ones that really got me into music, Nirvana was huge starting out as a kid.
Nice.
Love Nirvana.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain. After that, it was Metallica, believe it or not.
Yeah.
A lot of the shredding guitar, and then Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads playing guitar, so that's 3, right? And after that, it was probably Jimi Hendrix, and then Brad Paisley. Country's music. I love George Strait. I mean, George Strait going up my dad. I'm actually feeling pretty good now, bro.
Yeah,
I could kind of chill in here.
My whole body's kind of tightening up a little bit, but I'm good.
Yeah, I feel like I can do this now. I feel like a man. I feel like a man right now. I feel like I've conquered this.
I'm proud of you, man. You're doing better than I am. What's the moment you realized this is what you wanted to do?
I was in high school. I was about 19 years old. I saw Brad Paisley playing Ticks on Vivo, and I was like, that's what I want to do. There's a bunch of great looking women, and I was like, let's go, dude. I can play guitar and I can sing.
Nice, dude.
So, now I just got to write some country songs.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it. Before we get out, I always like to do a full body dip. You don't have to, but...
Oh, I ain't doing the dip, bro.
No?
I don't know.
No dip?
Are you going to do it a dip?
I'm doing it.
I guess
it
I'll
every
do it
time.
if you're doing it, but I ain't going hands, though, because I got to play guitar here. So
Okay, yeah. We'll keep your hands chilling.
Okay.
Or not, you're not chilling. Okay.
Unchill.
All right, here we go.
Oh. That was pretty cold, man.
Dude. Well, I didn't want to say this before we got in, but I believe that was the coldest one that anyone's done so far. Yeah. So, congratulations. You made it through.
Let's go.
You're part of the Iced Out Club now.
Let's go, dude.
Got your own custom
Amazing.
Iced Out robe, which will help right now
brother.
getting you warm, dude.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna put this up right now.
Yeah.
I'm freezing.
Yeah.
I'm iced out, yo. I'm iced out now.
Heck yeah, dude.
Let's go, Joey.
We can go into the next room, continue the chat for a little bit. Dude, awesome, man. Thank you. All right, let's go over here.
Man. Woo. Oh, man.
Yeah, dude.
Golly.
I'm starting to shiver.
I'm feeling great.
So how was that?
Yo, dude, I'm feeling amazing right now.
Yeah.
First time, I feel like I've unlocked a new part of my manhood.
Yeah. Did it get dicey at all when we were in there? Like
The first minute, I was like, dang, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the whole way. And then about 30 seconds later, I was like, I stopped like breathing. Like my breathing kind of calmed down, my body calmed down, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. Like I could probably sit in here for a little bit longer.
yeah, it usually takes about a minute and a half, and then you feel okay.
But then you're like, hey, we're gonna do a plunge. I'm like, oh god.
Do you have any other health routines that you do?
Man, so I'm like a stickler when it comes to like getting my cardio in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I probably, if I'm at the house working on the companies, like I got my under desk treadmill and I'm walking on that thing, like I'll get 10 miles at least
Oh, nice.
if I'm working at home that day.
Yeah.
And like if I don't have an opportunity to, like if I'm not working at home, like I'll make sure I get to the gym and get my cardio in too. And I'll do like,
Nice.
either the Stairmaster, the elliptical or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I try and work out, at least like 3 times a week and get some resistance training in, just because like, I'm getting a little older now.
Yeah.
And I'm 30. Some people are like kind of amazed by it, but I'm 30. So it's like, definitely got to take care of yourself just to last and be able to think properly.
Yeah.
I always kind of watch what I eat. I'm not trying to like eat too many like unhealthy things. I don't eat fast food or anything like that. Gets you in a bad spot quick.
For sure. For
So-
sure. You're from Kersey, Colorado?
Kersey, Colorado. Yeah.
What was that like growing up?
Man, it's flat. It's very flat compared to Tennessee, and a lot of farmland. It's basically all farms. And I grew up I went to the same school my whole life. I graduated with about 80 other kids. So everybody knew everybody. And in high school, man, I was like a hellraiser. I was bad. So I was that kid the teachers were always like watching. I couldn't go to the bathroom unsupervised for like half of a year, my junior year. I was pretty bad, but I got good grades,
What did I think you were gonna do?
Well, so I was like, not to get too deep here, but my parents split up when I was a sophomore, and they kind of like went off the deep end, for lack of better terms. Like they were kind of just like doing, because relationships can get bad, and they kind of got to that point, and I kind of was just like, they just let me kind of do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
To an extent. And like they watched over me, like they made sure I didn't die or anything, but I had a long leash.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. They were letting me figure life out. Is a good way to put it. And I figured a lot of stuff out. And so my buddies and I, we went and smoked weed in the bathroom at school. And we took off, and like we heard the teacher was coming, and I'm like, and I didn't even do it, but one of the other buddies did, and I took off and ran down the hallway, and there's cameras, so they're like, the principal calls me down, and he's like, Johnny, why were you running down the hallway? And I'm like, and he's like, and she said that you smelled something in the bathroom. I'm like, well, sir, I'm sorry. And he's like, well, you can't go to the bathroom unsupervised for the rest of the year, but I'm not going to tell your mom. And I'm like, thank you.
It's pretty good deal, I'd say. Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't watch this. 'Cause my mom's going to be mad. Cheapo. It turned out good. I ended up turning out good. Thank Lord. So.
What did growing up there influence your music at all?
Oh yeah. So that's how I got into music. I had a friend in middle school. His brother was a guitar player, and I'd go over to his house and hear his brother playing guitar, and I'm like, what is that? That is so amazing. Like, I was just so enamored by it. Like, someone could make that sound out of a guitar. When you're that young, it's like, you're still like, everything's so new. And from there, I was like, Mom, I want a guitar for Christmas. And I think I was like 12 or 13. And she's like, well, not cool. Yeah. And she bought me one. And at the time, my dad was kind of pissed because I was supposed to be playing football full time. That was like my full-time job. And so she got me that guitar, and I became addicted to it. Like, that's all I did. That's all I think about. I'd like draw in class. I'd be drawing guitars, And then I joined a band, who my mom kind of hooked me up with. He worked with my mom at the store that they were working at, and he had a band. There was a kid that went to school with me. He was like 4 years older than me, and he was in it too, and I didn't even know him, but we got together in that band, and I was about 13, and I ended up becoming the lead guitar player because I was just like, it was crazy, man. I was addicted. So like, he would be like, hey, go home and learn Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix, and I'd be like, he's like, and let's play it next week. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, let's go. So I'd go home, and that's all I would do. I had to tab the Little Wing in the Guitar World book, and I'd listen to it over and over again. Dude, I miss those days because that was like the euphoric moment.
Yeah.
Like learning something new and then like making that progress and getting good at it. So
That's awesome.
pretty amazing. And that just inspired everything. So for me, it was just like Guitar World for me.
I had read that you were really influenced by Brad Paisley, and you got really into like trying to find, like getting the same kind of gear and like learning how to play like him. Is that true? Or?
Yeah, that's true, man. I saw that video of Brad Paisley, and I was like, man, I got to get a guitar like that, and I got to get an amp like that, and I got to have that sound. I got to learn how to do that. And so I looked up the price of a lot of it, and I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, he has like, it's like camera gear. It's like, this is like 50 grand at least just in his like guitars and the amps and like probably even more. And so I was like, okay, well, I got to figure out a job. Like, if I go to college, there's no way I'm going to get this money. And so that's when I joined the oil field. Just because I was like, man, that's how I could get this money, and then I could quit. And I did, initially. So I joined the oil field once I got out of high school, bought this like $5,000 guitar, bought like a $5,000 amp, and I was like, peace. And I just went to play guitar for a while, and then I was like, well, I want to put out some music. And I was like, at that time, it takes money to put music out. So I was like, well, I might as well get back in the oil field and get some money again. So that's how I got back in.
What was that like working at the oil field?
Initially, it was... The first job I had in the oil field was horrendous, man. I worked 13-hour days, 6 days a week. So it was like I had no time. Yeah, I made like $13 an hour, but there was so much overtime that I made a killing.
Yeah.
And then I found a better job after that, but it was nights. So I'd work 7 days during the night, and then 7 days I'd be off, which was cool.
Okay.
So that was cool, but like working at night was horrendous.
Yeah.
So, and it was usually freezing cold most of the year. Well, when I joined, it was freezing cold. So
Yeah.
it was something, man. I learned a lot.
That's crazy, man. What kind of stuff were you doing on the oil field?
I was an operator, right? So like in the oil field, they go in, they drill and everything like that, and then they make these facilities, right? So then my job was to take care of the facility and make sure it produced oil. And I actually started at like the bottom, like on the nights, because that's like the night shift is for the runs, like they're testing you out. And then I had managed to work myself up to like a company man. And so I was like the guy running all the night guys, the day guys, the crews, like helping build the facilities, making sure they were all spec'd out. So it got pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a great job, man. I love those guys. A lot of my good friends are back in Colorado. I still talk to them. And
Nice.
And when I left to just do music full time, they were like, it was a pretty big deal, man. It was crazy. So, but they're all super happy about it. So they're like, go, man, go.
So did you leave and head to Nashville? Was that the thing? Or?
So it was actually how it worked. I was in the oil field for about 3 years, I think, while I had my house here in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So I moved here in 2019. I bought my house. And then I was flying back and forth every other week.
Wow. Okay.
So I'd fly here for a week for 6 days, and then I'd fly back to Colorado to work for 8 days. And so I do music when I was here, and I do oil field stuff and kind of music stuff when I had a moment back in Colorado. So, and then I think a couple years ago, I left and started a couple companies to make sure the family ate, and now we're here.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
So being new to Nashville at that time, like, was it hard getting your bearings and getting into the music industry, or like,
I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
I knew some people, and I, made my way around town, and it's pretty small.
Yeah.
You can meet quite a bit of people just by going to Midtown, and just going to Red Door. So, that was big. I met a lot of my connections and people that I'm working with today at church, surprisingly.
Oh, wow.
All the musicians were in church too. So I was like, I was going to church, and like I'd meet all these people, and that's how I met Jared.
Nice.
And so, it was crazy. Nashville's a crazy town. You never know what you're going to get into out here.
Yeah.
It's a land of opportunity. You just got to be willing to answer the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know what, what it's like for you, just me being kind of an outsider looking in. It kind of feels like everyone's kind of rooting for each other in some kind of way. I'm sure it's very cutthroat in some ways, but it also feels like more of a communal thing than I would imagine Hollywood for acting is like maybe a little bit more of like a,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird dichotomy, right? Because everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to be at the top, right? Everyone wants to get to that status. But I think once you get into it you realize how hard it is, you realize that your close friends' successes are your successes too, because it's kind of like the teams are what move up. You know, your good friends that are artists, and when they move up, then it's like you move up kind of with them, right? Because they're, you know, you just know them, you hang out with them, their new connections become your connections, and then, you know, that's just how it spreads.
Yeah.
So you kind of adapt that mindset pretty fast if you're good at reading a room. Yeah. If you're good at reading between the lines, you're like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna be a dick. Because like, I'm not, like, these people are never gonna talk to me again. And I think that just comes from how you're raised, you know. A lot of it, you know, just being good to people. That's just a good trait to have.
For sure. So far, what do you think is like the most memorable experience you've had in your music career?
Man, I mean, I played with the Doobie Brothers, sang a song with them on stage. That was pretty cool. Man, honestly, one of the most memorable moments I have to this day, when I was about 13, right? I just started playing guitar, and I've done a lot of cool stuff, but like this one just sticks in my mind because I was playing in our little cover band with 50-year-old Tom, and I was there. We were playing Freebird. It was like our end thing, and I was playing all the solos, and people were just like kind of freaking out. They were pretty drunk, but they were freaking out, and like they're like, keep playing. So then I just bust out Eruption by Eddie Van Halen, and they're like throwing 50s at me, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And my dad's like sitting over there in the corner, like kind of crying, you know? And he's like, wow, this might be what his thing is, you know? So yeah, I still remember that.
That's awesome, dude.
Pretty vividly.
Nice, man.
So
your song with Lathan,
yes.
Warlick,
Yes.
Take It to the Country.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Man, so I had a write scheduled with Jared Ingram and Tyler Jordan and Blake Hubbard. And we were scheduled to write that day, and he just came into town a little bit early, and he's like, hey man, I really want to get a song with Johnny. That's what he told Jared. So Jared called me the night before. He's like, hey dude, I think Lathan's gonna come and sit in on this session with us. He wants to get a song with you. And I'm like, okay, cool, right on, we'll see what's good. And so we came in, we wrote the chorus, and then I just laid down this guitar track on the acoustic guitar, the da-da-do-da, ba-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then we laid that down. Blake came up with a sweet track underneath it, and we sang the vocal that day. And then Lathan came in, and he was just sitting out writing all of his verses, and he came in, sang them, and we put out the song like 3 weeks later.
Dude.
And that was it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I love those things, like the organically coming together type, you know, the story.
It wasn't even like, we didn't even like really try to make it happen. It just happened.
That's awesome, man. I was listening to it past few days, just kind of like getting ready for this and everything, and like it's been stuck in my head. Like it's good, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So what would be like a dream collab for you?
Dream collab, man. I would love to get one with Brad Paisley. That would be super cool. You know, he's just been so influential in like my guitar playing and just getting into country music. Yeah, that would be amazing. You know, a big collab too would be, you know, something with like, I mean, Chris Stapleton's amazing. I'm a huge fan of Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Brad Paisley would probably be up there though.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty amazing. If I can knock that off the bucket list, I'd feel pretty good about myself.
Yeah, it'd be dope.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
What about like a dream lineup for a show? Like other bands to play.
I mean, right now, the current era, like where we're at, it would be fun to do a show with Maureen Mullen because those stadium shows are crazy right now. Yeah. You know, like that's just insane. Yeah. So, I love Ernest too, and Hardy, and all those guys, and that whole situation is just pretty exciting.
Yeah, I want to get Ernest on the show, man.
Dude, Ernest would be a good one.
Yeah, I know. He's like one of my favorites. So
is he?
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's fantastic.
Yeah,
great music too.
Yeah, super good, man. Super good. So, what do you do when you're not playing music?
Man, so when I'm not playing music, and I'm not writing or producing songs or, you know, tracking guitars for somebody, because I get hit up for that a lot too. I got a couple businesses that my wife and I run, and they've taken off this past year, right? Because when I got out of the oil field, like, you know, the music business is good, but it's not the most, you don't make a lot of money in the beginning, right? Let's put it that way. You usually spend a lot of money in the beginning. And so I was like, well, we got kids, and we got to feed them. So we started a couple businesses, and one is a backflow testing company. So if anybody, real quick education on that, basically there's these check valves that go on the water main lines, and they got to be tested and inspected and repaired every year. And we actually do all of your, so anybody with a sprinkler system, my company tests all your guys' backflow preventers.
Oh.
Yeah, in all Bellevue. So that's one company we got. And then the other one is a virtual administrations.
Okay.
So we basically pair small business owners with an admin all across the country. And that one took off on us,
That's
unbelievably. And
Yeah.
it was just like, wow. So that one that's been taking up a lot of time. Both of them have been very fruitful. My dad works for me now. Which is crazy. Both my sisters work for me.
Yeah.
So it's cool to be in that position to, help people succeed too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we started it. It was so we can make money too, but how can we help others, get better in life and get better jobs, and especially for stay-at-home moms, so.
What, how did that come about? What is the idea for starting that company coming in?
So my wife, she was actually, when we first moved out here, she's like, I need a job where I can stay at home with the kids. And so she started working for another company doing it. And then when I was leaving the oil field to come out here, I was like, hey, we got to figure something out, because they weren't paying her at all. And the company she was working with was like, hey, I'll buy you out of your contract, and you can start your own company. So we did. And it's just taken off, and it all came from her. So I just hopped in on her coattails.
Yeah.
Had helped build her.
That's awesome, man. So with music, how do you handle criticism or tough moments?
That's a good one, man. Honestly, with music, it's such a subjective thing, right? Some people are gonna like you and some people are gonna hate you. And I think even going into a show, a good friend of mine told me, he's like, there's gonna be some people in there that, like you and love what you do, and there's gonna be some people that don't. And that's every situation you walk into, right? And so just having that in the back of your mind, just doing your best and knowing, hey, if I get a couple of new fans out of this, amazing. And at the end of the day, I'm just creating things that I love, right? It's just the whole fact of creating something. I think that's why creating the businesses is so fun, because just the act of a human being creating something is so fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. I don't know what else I would do if I wasn't doing it. So it's okay, if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, cool, because I'm gonna keep doing it anyways. You know, it's hopefully you enjoy it. And I think just follow in your heart. Follow in your heart, and not let too many people dictate you, or the climate.
Yeah.
The industry dictating what you're gonna do too much. I think having that in mind helps you produce better music that connects with people more. Because if you try and just tend to everybody and be a people pleaser, usually nobody likes it.
Yeah. For sure.
So, being legit to yourself.
Yeah.
So,
any other advice you would give to somebody that wants to break into the music industry or wants to move to Nashville and write songs, or
write a lot of songs. Find out exactly what you're trying. It sounds so, everyone says this, figure out what you're trying to say and figure out who you are. And just really hone in on the craft of a song. Because, we hear all the hits on the radio, but all the songs that came before those hits got those people to that point, and a lot of them sucked. So and nobody liked. And so it's keep going and keep getting better, and just always be looking to get better every single day, and not let a good thing I heard is there's no such thing as the antithesis of failure isn't a bad thing, right? It's great to fail.
Yeah.
Fail as much as you possibly can, because that's how you're gonna get great at something. I wasn't great at guitar. The first time I just failed until I got good, and where people were like, hey, you're pretty good, man. And that's how everything is. So it's just keep failing, man, until it's great. And eventually you'll get there, and just keep on just trying to be your best.
Yeah.
So
There's that expression you hear a lot of Silicon Valley people say, but it's fail up. It's just keep failing and working your way up. Because that means you're trying and you're trying to push the envelope and do new things. So.
Exactly, all the time. You never know where it's gonna go.
Right.
Today.
Yeah.
So
Who would you like to see on this show?
Ernest. And Lathan.
Big Earn, come on.
Lathan. I'm calling you, bro.
Yeah, let's go, man. I'm right.
Leave here. I'm texting you.
We get Jared on here, get Lathan on here, but yeah.
Jared will be great. He's a great one, man. He's so full of wisdom. And Blake too. Blake would be a great one. I think Blake's fun, and he's got a lot of wisdom as well. They've been in the business for so long and have seen and been a part of so many successes, you know, like Brad Perrin and, you know, I mean, Ray Lynn and all that good stuff. So, yeah, they got a lot of good knowledge.
Yeah.
They definitely taught me a lot.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah, great people.
Red Fair is another one. I would love to, I've never, like, I don't know what that dude would be like, but I would love to meet him and see him.
Like, he's a sweetheart, man.
Yeah.
Red is a sweetheart. Every time I've talked to him and hung out with him, he's just been so kind and so gracious and so humble. And like, that's super refreshing.
That's awesome.
I mean, he's got some big songs that
Yeah.
blowing up right now. So
Another dude where like I listened to his song one time and it stuck in my head for like a week.
yeah, I'm Diet Coke. It's like, man, I really want some Diet Coke now.
Yeah, I don't even drink Jack or Diet Coke, but for some reason I just got a hankering. So what do you got next? What do you got coming out? Like what's next for Johnny Day?
Man, for me right now, I'm in like the season of writing songs and creating them and taking my time and really putting out like the next level of the music that I'm trying to push, right? So I'm really taking my time to formulate that and just seeing what comes and not trying to force anything too fast. So that and getting these businesses to where I can like be like, you know, get everybody plays, getting it set up and say, okay, later y'all, I'll check in with you on Monday and I'll see you next Monday. And then it'll be probably, I'll see you this month and I'll see you next month. So
Nice.
yeah, that's what I'm really working on right now.
Is the goal an album at some point?
Oh yeah, yeah. The goal is the album next year. So we're putting all the songs together to release that next year and just
Nice.
drop them. So
Right on, dude.
yes, sir.
Well, I'm shivering, which is good. We were talking before we were rolling, but yeah, the shivering is actually good. It creates brown fat, which
Brown fat.
I'm all for it, dude.
Let's
do
go.
this.
Let's get that brown fat.
But dude, I really appreciate you doing this, man. It's been awesome. You killed it. Like I said, I was like the coldest one we've done so far. It was 39 degrees, I think. So
Let's go.
that was awesome, man. You think you'll keep doing it a little bit? Try it again?
We'll see what happens, man. I might be giving a present here to the show. So when it shows up, so you know, when it shows up, I got your address now, dude. All right, Amazon Prime, so just watch out.
I can't wait.
No, I got my present.
Well, thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Comment below. Who do you want to see on the show? Hit that like button, subscribe, all those good things. Check out another episode, maybe here or here. And thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. All right, have a good day. Dude, thank you again, man.
Oh, thank you, man.